I wonder if you know how they live in Tokyo. If you've seen it, then you mean it, then you know you have to go. Fast and furious! Drift, 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 fast and furious! Drift, drift, drift. So each time I go to the Japanese restaurant, my go-to dish is teriyaki something, be it salmon or chicken or beef or even vegetables. But you know what? I always wondered what goes into teriyaki sauce? What gives that complex flavors? So I did some research and I realized that you only need 4 very simple ingredients. And you know what? If you make it at home, it's even better because there are no preservatives and no additives. So today I'll be doing teriyaki chicken. So we start by making the teriyaki sauce, which is super simple. All you need is some soy sauce, you can use any that you like, and cooking sake. Now it's very important that you use cooking sake. You can use normal sake, but honestly you're just gonna spend a bomb. I literally just spent $7 on this. And a fun fact about cooking sake, it actually has salt in it, so it prevents people from actually going to the supermarket to spend this little money on some alcohol. And following that, we're also using some mirin, which is basically Japanese cooking wine, and it adds some sweetness but also shine, and you'll see this later. And finally, we need some sugar as well. So I'm going to heat up my pan. And we're using equal parts of soy sauce, sake, and mirin, so very easy to remember. Today I'm just using a 1/4 cup of each. And some mirin. Now, alone, the mirin and the sake really don't taste very nice, but together, I'm telling you, it just gives this lovely, complex flavor that you taste in teriyaki sauce. So with all of that, I'm just gonna add 2 tablespoons of sugar. Honestly, this is the part that you can be as creative as you like and add as much as you want. Now here's a fun fact. If you go to Japan, you actually won't find teriyaki sauce in the supermarket because this is something that people actually make at home, and everyone basically has their own ratios, and I stick to an equal part of each sauce so it's easier to remember. And honestly, with that 2 tablespoons of sugar, I found that perfect balance for my taste buds. So if you want to play around with the flavors, go ahead because it's your recipe after all. So we're going to heat this up for a while and wait for it to thicken up slightly. And once it starts to boil, we can just turn off the heat. Alright, so now all the sugar has dissolved and the sauce has come to a slight boil, so we can turn off the fire. And you can store this in a nifty little jar. You can keep it in your fridge for about 3 weeks, but honestly it won't last that long because this is basically an all-purpose sauce. You can use it for your vegetable stir-fries, your salmon, your chicken, your beef, your tofu, your mushroom, anything. So store it in the fridge and then we can move on to cook our chicken. Alright, we're gonna start with heating up our pan with some oil, about 1 tablespoon or 2. Okay. Now as that is heating up, we will season our chicken with just some salt and pepper, really simple. Alright, so the pan is hot enough, we can put in our chicken pieces. I'm using chicken thighs today, which I've deboned and I've also de-skinned because I think it's easier to eat that way. But you can use whatever piece you like. Oh, it's gonna splatter. So we want to sear it on one side for about 3 to 4 minutes till we get a nice color, and then we'll flip it around. And if it's splattering too much, like it just hit my hand, I'm just gonna put a lid on and it can also steam cook. All right, we check the color, get that nice, ooh, look at that brown. Flip it around and cook the other side. If you see that your chicken's getting a little dry, you can add in a splash of sake or water. Once again, gonna cover that. So now that you're happy with your chicken, we can add in the teriyaki sauce. I'm gonna add about 2 to 3 tablespoons per thigh. Now it's gonna bubble up, which is normal. You wanna just continuously spoon it over the chicken and you'll see that the sauce will start to thicken. So we don't need no cornstarch or any thickeners in this recipe. It will naturally just do so on its own. Coat it nicely. Now lots of people like to add ginger to their chicken teriyaki, but I love to add red pepper flakes for some spice. So just gonna sprinkle some over. Alright, it's all nicely coated and you see that mirin has given it a super nice and beautiful glaze. I can now turn off the heat and plate it up. Oh, look at that. And of course, we want the sauce. So there you have it, teriyaki chicken, and I'm serving it with some Japanese cucumber salad and red rice. Just gonna top it off with some spring onion and sesame seeds. It looks divine. I can't wait to tuck into it. Some sesame seeds here too, everywhere. And of course, some nori, which is seaweed. Oh. And the final bit, teriyaki sauce. And there you go, teriyaki chicken. May the food be with you. Try this recipe at home, snap a picture, and tag me at TheCharlotteMei on Instagram. Leave a comment down below to tell me what you'd like to see next, and don't forget to click subscribe. 3, 2, 1. I wonder if you know how they live in Tokyo. If you've seen it, then you mean it, then you know you have to go. Pastamperia! Hey, hey, hey!